HorrorDeconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's the HorrorDeconstruction. You can hear us on YouTube, which is most likely where you're going to hear us. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere else. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, hit the thumbs up, hit all that stuff that you want to hit. With your host, Comp, and
15 more seconds of life.
And today we are doing what?
Adios 2021.
Oh, what a year. 2021. Boy,
yes.
oh boy. Another year in the toilet, so to speak. Really no different from 2020 and the ending of 2019, due to the, of course, the fucked up world that we're in right now. Don't know when we're gonna get out of it.
This is very uplifting.
Very uplifting. It's fantastic. We're all hugs and no hugs and no kisses. That's for sure. So yes, we have so far made it to this point. Who knows what's gonna happen? At the end of every year, I go, we don't have to do this podcast anymore. We don't really have to do it anymore.
It's the only thing I live for anymore.
That's really sad. Yes, because I've been a fuck up and everything else in my life. I can't get any other Instagram still going. People don't buy my art, so people don't watch the show. So whatever, who cares?
It's great.
It doesn't matter. It's a show that survives on OCD. That's what it is. It really is, and the love of horror, of course, obviously. But we're going to just give us a little review of the year and the stuff that we saw and the stuff that we liked and we didn't like, what's bothering us, non-horror, horror, what we are into. Danny's half asleep because he just came from New York to Spain.
I'm jet-lagged.
He got a little spooked by something, but he's okay even though he sounds like shit.
Yeah, I'm losing my voice.
If we end up doing another season of this and he's not on the phone, then you hear his voice, you'll hear why. But just kidding. Anyway, so Danny, what is your summation of 2021? Did it have good movies for you this year, including everything, horror and whatever else?
I mean, movies made in 2021, good movies, not so much, but good movies that we watched, yeah, there were some good ones.
I thought there was actually a pretty good amount of entertainment, and
I made a list of my favorites, and it's way longer than the list of my non-favorites.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think that theaters are in a very precarious situation. We've said that in 2019, said that in 2020, but yeah. I do think they're pretty much in a precarious situation. I won't go back to a fucking theater, that's for sure.
I've been to two, and it was
yes.
very awkward and uncomfortable for me the whole time. Yeah.
I can imagine when you're trying to get to the middle of the aisle and you have to step over people that are actively coughing and vomiting blood in the fucking theater. I remember WB. Their big decision was to release movies at the same times on digital and theaters, and that is just like, it's good for me because I'll watch that shit, but it kills a good amount of income for you.
Yeah,
and their movies were like The Matrix, and I forget what other WB movies came out.
Tell us about The Matrix.
Okay,
sum it up in what? Give us a 1 minute breakdown of The Matrix with no spoilers.
I can give you two word. It's horrible. It's a horrible movie. The Matrix.
You got 58 more seconds.
So The Matrix came out. Obviously, 1, 2, and 3 came out in a couple of years. I love The Matrix 1. When I first saw it, I didn't get it. After I rewatched it, I enjoyed it a lot, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is a great movie." I was very stupid. Same thing happened with Fight Club. I was very stupid back then. I did not appreciate the cinema.
Well, I mean, not much has changed. Yeah.
I was more right on it when I saw Matrix Part 2 and 3. I said, these aren't good. And then when I went to re-see them, I was like, yeah, I was right. These aren't good. But the action scenes in Part 2 are fantastic. Has my favorite car chase scene of all time.
And the sword fight. Oh, it's so good.
And so all that stuff too. So Part 2 is great. 3, I don't know. I can honestly say I don't think I fully sat through Part 3.
If you had to rank them, where would this new one be? Would it be the second best, the third best?
You know what? I was gonna say Part 4 was gonna be above Part 3 because I never saw Part 3. But the more and more I sat and thought about it, it's a movie that I haven't seen is better than this new one. At least I can imagine that there's hope that it's good. But just to give it a short, my problems with the Matrix what is this one called? Resurrections, is that it's a pointless movie. They were gonna make the movie without Lana Wachowski. Her sister did not choose to return to help her make this film. The two original Wachowskis.
Sounds like a wise choice.
So Lana had two other writers, I believe, help write the script, and it's an abomination. And there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is great. This is a great movie. Oh, this is this is gene." And I'm like, what movie did these motherfuckers saw? You know what I think? Because this new movie,
10 more seconds. 10 more seconds.
There's actual scenes of the original Matrix in it. They just clip them in, and I think they saw those scenes, and then they close their eyes for the rest of the movie and just open it up. Just by happenstance.
You know what? I want to rewatch the original. It's a good movie.
Yeah, just go watch the original one.
The second one's okay. The third one's okay.
This takes place about 60 years after the original, or 50 years, or so many years like that. So you do not have Morpheus, and for some reason you don't have Hugo Weaving in it. And I don't want to spoil why that is, but it is not a good movie. It's my worst movie of the year. But anyway, let's get to some of the good stuff that came out this year. Marvel, I think, did pretty well this year. They gave the fans what they wanted.
Spider-Man was amazing. No spoilers at all.
With their Disney Plus, they gave us really great shows. They gave us WandaVision. They gave us Loki.
I love Loki.
It almost feels like it was a lifetime ago, but WandaVision was great. Has one of my favorite lines I've ever heard about love. What is love? What is grief but love? Persevering. So it's one of those things. I probably said it wrong, but that's a fantastic quote. Loki was a great show. It's very, very UK style of science fiction to it.
I love Loki.
I really like the Winter and the the
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now I'm starting Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye's great too. Although there's some element in it that it's a little sketchy in the final episode that I thought was a little bit bizarre.
Well, I don't
want to spoil it. We'll see what you think. Anyway, so Spider-Man No Way Home, what'd you think about it?
I thought it was basically top 2 or 3 of all those of Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great film. I'm not really a fan of the MCU Spider-Man movies by themselves. Like, I don't hate them, but I don't necessarily.
They're okay,
they don't.
But this one is amazing.
Yeah, I think what it is that the original Sam Raimi films, and it's not talking just by nostalgia. Like, if you watch Spider-Man 1 and 2 of them, of course, they had their own agency. They weren't reliant on MCU.
Right.
A whole world that's already lived in, so you can't play outside the borders. Not that those Spider-Man movies did anything that was so bizarre that you couldn't fit it into any MCU movie, but now they did. But the fact that those movies were great. I wasn't a fan of Amazing Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield.
I like the first one.
He's a fantastic actor, but they just did not give him material that was worth his acting, I thought.
Yeah.
And he got to remedy that with this film, and there was a scene with him that I thought actually made me feel sad.
I know it was a happy sadness.
But they really did well by his characters, and they're obviously now Sony, because they made already $1 billion with it without even going to China, because Hollywood has been reliant on China for a long time, because China basically wants to be the number one in everything. And with movies, they're only taking 25 American movies a year, so they don't even show any other U.S. movies, and they haven't even taken this one yet. And they didn't even show Shang-Chi. Really? So and you would think Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi was basically Marvel trying to make a Chinese movie to make a lot of Chinese money.
They were trying to undo the racist Chinese stereotypes of their comics in the past.
Right. But what happened was that the star said one flagrant thing about China 10 years ago, and China said nope, no movie here. So that's what they got to deal with that shit. But anyway,
what about horror? What was your favorites?
Wow, we're getting right into it.
Sorry, my voice is limited.
Danny wants to get out of here.
No, it's just my voice is so limited. I'm trying to
My favorite of the year is the Fear Street trilogy, a movie I told Danny to go watch, but he still hasn't bothered watching. It's an incredible.
I'm going to.
It's an incredible trilogy of horror films. It takes place in the 90s, 70s, and the 1600s, and it's a crazy thing where it's a film series where each subsequent film is better than the last. But it almost feels like a television series, but it is not the cheapness of a television series, but it's really good. It's one of the best I've ever seen. So what's your favorite of the year, horror wise?
I made a big list, but I really liked Jacob's Wife. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I know you
I know it's so goofy and stuff, but I still think about certain scenes from it. It's just silly. Even the scene when he's nailing her and he's like, you see that, what's his face's ass and everything. It's like, this is amazing.
Yeah, that was a real surprise for me because I wasn't sure about it because like Shudder movies are hit or miss for me, original Shudder movies, and I thought that was a really well done Shudder film. A bad one I think was American Horror Story Red Tide. It seems like they had a promising, just like always, every American Horror Story is either hit or miss, and I thought they've been pretty entertaining.
I'm over that show so bad.
But this year I think is the point where I was just like, I don't care, because they split it up into 2 different shows this year, 1 season. And the first half is Red Tide, which is about vampires living, I think, in like some affluent area, like near the shore or the sea. And it was just, it just had a horrible payoff. It was terrible. And usually American Horror Story cuts it in half, and the latter half is always a fuck up. But this one you actually see it in real time because literally, since it's only half of its episodes, it's really bad, really quick. So that was terrible. A fantastic movie this year that's not horror was Dune. I love that movie. Great.
Oh
movie.
yeah, Dune is actually one of my favorites of the whole year.
And I was scared that Denis Villeneuve, because he's obviously a very talented director. He's one of the very rare directors that I look forward to see his films. Like you would say, like a Scorsese or a Tarantino or Fincher, kind of the people that you rely on. And he's like one of the newer ones that can handle big budget storytelling, big movies. And I get pissed off because like movies like Blade Runner 2049 was a fantastic movie. I thought it was better than the original.
But yeah, nobody gave a shit.
Nobody gave a shit. And
movie.
The thing is, nobody gave a shit when the original came out. It just grows. But people who grew and turned to love it, they won't go out to fucking see this new movie, which was an incredible movie.
Is that about people just not get excited for like
cyberpunk
sci-fi or something?
I think it's cyberpunk in general. I'm not sure. It's a genre that's rich with like really good ideas, but they just don't know how to handle it. And there was there's a new Blade Runner cartoon called Black Lotus on Cartoon Network. It looks like everything's in rubber. It's horrible. Anyway, but Dune is fantastic. I never read the books. I haven't watched the original film. I was going to read the books before seeing this film, but I kind of wanted to be surprised by it. I'm not like so shocked by it.
I will say, as a person who's read the books like multiple times, it was actually very
pretty accurate.
Like it did a really good job.
I'm not necessarily shocked by the storyline because the storyline doesn't seem like anything new. Basically it's the hero.
It was at the time.
Yeah, no. It's the hero story about a guy, saving whatever. But I think it's fucking great. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like belittle your movie. But it's a pretty fucking fantastic. It's a fantastic movie, and I'm so glad that they got a sequel.
I can't wait for the second half.
They got a sequel greenlit for it because it cuts off at the end. You're like, oh fuck, there's more, and it's called Dune Part 1, so you can't get upset by it because people seem to be.
I'm not gonna no spoilers, but the second half has so much stuff in it. Oh my god.
I saw a Chinese film called Wild Goose Lake. And it's a really good crime thriller. You can see it on Tubi.tv. Tubi.tv is basically, I think, an arm of Warner Brothers or something like that. They have first-rate movies there. They have a lot of fucking horror movies on it for free. It's a free service.
You just gotta watch the ads or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, but the ads are like actually pretty like 10 seconds long almost, so you don't even have to worry about, and it's not that bothersome. But I saw a movie I had wanted to see for a long time. But I heard it was found footage. It was kind of I hate found footage really for the most part, even though we've seen
the Sweet Murder one.
No. That was on Tubi, which was great. But that was, I think,
that one is great.
Did we do that last year? We did that this year. That was a great
Record
movie.
of Sweet Murder.
No, that
was this year.
I saw a movie called As Above, So Below, which is a French horror. Not French. It's an American movie which takes place in the catacombs in France, and people go into the layer of hell and stuff like that. It's not as cool as.
It was like a Dante.
Sort of, but it's entertaining, and I thought the ending visuals are pretty neat. So it's a pass. Like I'd say, watch it, but I don't expect to be like blown away by it. But ever since I saw the house that Jack built, like that vision of hell was so fucking great that it's just like nothing can compare to that. But anyway, what are some other movies that you saw that you thought were great, or television shows or something like that?
Television shows, I mean, it's not horror, but I finally watched the Kimmy Schmidt show.
I saw that on the Netflix queue that you'd finally gone through. What did you think of it? They came out with an intro.
I liked it.
They came out with an
intro. I just haven't seen the new movie. It's
interactive. It's like a video game, so you get to choose.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched it yet, because I'm just too lazy to do it at the moment. But of movies we watched, one that I think you didn't like and maybe put as the worst, but I loved it. Thinking back, is *Malignant*.
Yeah, people love that movie. I saw people putting in their top.
I don't know. Like, it's so weird. When I saw it, I guess I thought it wasn't good.
I
but
think it's sort of it's a usual type of dumb movie from that company, but I think that the last 20 minutes are so good, it's worth kind of sitting through that first.
Like, I don't like what's his name, James Wan, right?
James Wan.
Like, I don't like him or his movies in general. Like, I think they're so like predictable and blah blah blah. This movie's amazing. Like, it really is. The last half an hour is like 100% worth it.
I like the brutality of the movie. I wasn't expecting it to be brutal because they're so like they kind of pull their punches with that company.
It's just so
good gore
silly.
At the end. I saw a movie that I wanted to review, but we didn't get the time to do it, which was called The Stylist, which was a female slasher movie. It's about this girl who's like a woman who's like mentally ill, and she kills women, and takes their scalps and puts them on her head and looks in the mirror and stuff. It's a new movie.
Nice.
But it's the chick.
That's faster than hand tying each hair to a wig.
Yeah.
Frame,
the woman who stars in it, actually, we saw in that movie. We saw a movie. Remember, we saw a zombie movie about sexual, like a guy sexually assaults her and she becomes a zombie. I forget the name of that.
Dead Girl.
No, it wasn't Dead Girl. That lady was already dead. This was a different movie we saw. It was like, I forget what the name of it, but it was the same actress from it. The movie is called Contracted. What do I know from? It's a good movie. It's called
she has sex with somebody and gets an STD that makes her slowly die.
Yes.
He doesn't. I don't think he assaults her. I think they just have sex.
Oh, there was somebody else that assaults her, I think, later on in the movie and gets it from her. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so anyway, that movie is called The Stylist, and I would recommend watching it. It's good, and there's a little doggy that's cute that you would like it in the movie. Very good movie. I enjoyed that one. It's like, for an indie film, it was pretty good. A show that I thought everybody has obviously seen already is Squid Game, which I think Danny...
I still haven't. I think
Danny, you should watch that. It's a really good show. It's entertaining.
I know. I've heard it. I've heard people say it's like their favorite show ever and stuff. Like, I have to see it.
Surprisingly entertaining this year was Chucky, the television series. I think it kind of redeemed itself for those last two movies. I don't say fully.
It was enjoyable enough. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's like, okay, it doesn't suck like the way Cult of Chucky and fucking Seed of Chucky.
It was
not Seed of Chucky, sorry, Cult of Chucky and the other one.
Curse of Chucky.
Curse of Chucky, yeah.
Yeah, those movies were just sliding into the garbage can, but Nick Antosca, who did Channel Zero, he did well with it. And speaking of Nick Antosca, he did a series that I watched called Brand New Cherry Flavor, which was all right. It was about this girl who goes to Hollywood to become a director, and there's a producer that wants to obviously have sex with her, and she tells him no, and then he fucks her career up. And then she works with a voodoo priestess. It's the lady from the 40-Year-Old Virgin, that really cool actress, the woman.
The one that was in Get Out also?
Yes, her. She's fucking fantastic in it.
Her name's like Catherine something?
Catherine Keener. Yes. And the lead is the young lady who played Alita in Battle Angel Alita. But you can't tell what the fuck she looks like, because she looks like a fucking cartoon in that movie. But I thought it was an okay show. Like, there was nothing really spectacular about it, and I was kind of let down by it. Another thing that I was let down on. Let me see. What was I thinking that I was let down on? I think that was it. I think that was that. Halloween Kills, to me, is the second worst movie of the year.
Oh, God. That was bad, actually.
To me, that's the second worst movie of the year besides Matrix. Matrix is only worse than that movie because Matrix...
I guess as far as horror goes, though, it's your worst, huh?
Yes, no, there's no question it's the worst movie of the year for me. Because it's just scenes of... it's like a rip-off of a Jason movie.
Well, we didn't see that Danzig movie.
I know, and I would have automatically put it number one. I'm just putting it number one just in case.
I would have put it in that. I mean, I could say without even having seen it that it's the worst movie of the year.
This is a vampire movie that he did. I think it's Death Rider in the House of Vampires or some shit like that. And I can't wait to watch that movie because it's so awful. But the only reason why Matrix is number one for me is because there's a potential behind it. Obviously, people that have brains in their heads that were able to make it, and it sucked. My third worst, just looking at this list right now, is Peninsula, I think I saw this year.
The one that's
which is the sequel to
Busan?
Train to Busan. A real letdown. They fucked up with that movie. Very bad.
I put Sound of Violence as one of my worst.
Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. That was bad. I'm glad you reminded
me
how bad that was.
It was just so silly. It was so silly.
Fourth worst for me would be Willy's Wonderland. with Nicolas Cage. You love that
I
movie,
considered it, but then I was like,
I thought you liked that movie a lot.
The best. No, I do like it, but it isn't a good movie.
You know what? I gotta restructure, Danny. I gotta restructure. Just for horror. Okay, so we know Matrix is the worst movie just for me in general in year. The number one worst movie for me is Demonic. That's the number one worst movie. That's the one by Neil Blomkamp, the guy who did fantastic trilogy of cyberpunk movies. He did District 9. I can't remember what the fucking movies are, but Neil Blomkamp is the director.
I didn't see that one. You did that one without me.
He does, be grateful. He does science fiction movies. He does Demonic was a horror movie that he did during quarantine, and there was obviously the science fiction element is great because there's a part where she puts herself into a dream world and and you see it digitally. It looks like old school 8-bit. Old school 8-bit computer like Commodore graphic stuff, and it was done in real time, and it's fucking great. The rest of the movie, I'm getting chills because of how bad that movie was. Horrible movie. Horrible. Demonic. He should be embarrassed that he did that.
When did that?
It came out 2021 this year, very early. I forgot how many movies.
No, when did the movie Host come out? Remember that one?
I think that was 2020. That was a good movie.
Oh, okay.
I think we already said
that was good. That was good. I put Bride of Reanimator amongst my worst also because
that was a pretty bad movie for Bride of the Reanimator.
The third one is actually even worse in my mind, but it's bad.
I saw what did I see? Candyman I thought was pretty good. I thought it was very well done, but I think it falters towards the end, which takes away from how good it could be. I like the idea of multiple Candymen, I guess much like Chucky running around. Yeah. But I liked it a lot. But I think Candyman was a really good exercise in filmmaking. I
liked it. I wish I liked it a little more.
Yeah, I saw Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, and I thought that was okay, but it wasn't as good as the first one, obviously. But it was,
and then we did our little '90s revival. We watched
but hold
Scream, on. I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Idle Hands this year.
Yeah, you don't even have to. Those are always great. You don't have to worry about those movies. They're good.
I mean, those are amazing though. But it really kind of shows the '90s were the pinnacle.
But speaking of Bride of Reanimator, you saw what in the Reanimator franchise?
Oh, so the third one also.
How was that
movie? It was terrible. It was just
any reason why it was so bad?
I don't even remember. I blocked most of it out, but I just remember thinking, "Wow, there was no point in making this movie. Why would you?" It's the same thing with The Matrix. Why are you gonna take something out of the grave 10 years later if it's done?
I saw the trailer just for the trailer of Candyman 3. I don't know what that one was called. And I was like, that's it. No need to watch this one. I just saw how it looked, and I was like, that's it.
You said Mortal Kombat was terrible,
Mortal
too, right?
Kombat is the second worst. I guess it is sort of horror, right? But it's more adventure action movie.
I wouldn't call it horror, but I mean, it has elements.
As for a regular standard film, that's the second worst movie of the year for me. It was horrible. A horrible and pointless, cheap movie that was fucking stupid, and I hate that I watched it. And I hate that they couldn't come up with a fucking movie for Mortal Kombat. It's 500 characters and they make a new one up that nobody gives a fuck about. Horrible movies. Yeah. Horrible
just
garbage.
Stick with the classics. Go with Luke Cage.
This year I also saw Alice in Borderland, which is a great Netflix series. If you like Squid Game, go watch Alice in Borderland because it actually came out a couple months before it. It's a killer game show. Very fucking good, and it has a second season coming out. I also saw... which I don't know if it's getting a second season, but Sweet Home, which is a Korean monster horror show.
I've heard great shit about that.
Yeah, it's about a couple of people that live in this tenement, and it's just invaded by really fucked up monsters. Not like zombies; they're like Batman and weird, not Batman, but men that look like bats and shit.
It's really all cool. Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it's really.
Now they're making a new Batman movie, a new one.
They said the new Batman movie looks is like a horror movie, so I'm interested in that.
I hope they do it fucking good.
The director is the guy who did the...
I don't give a shit about any of these other things that have been made.
Usually Batman movies are good. They only fucked up twice, I think, so far, which...
I consider the entire Christian Bale to be a fuck-up.
I like Dark Knight a lot, but a lot of people really come back to me and say it stinks, but I don't know why that is. I guess it's
I just find them so boring. Batman is a crazy man who's supposed to be on top of a building with his cape blowing in the wind, not like a cop. You know,
But he's a detective. That's the whole point. Batman's a detective.
I understand, but he's a detective like a crazy person. Anyway, also,
In
I
the
really
Earth
like
was
In
good.
the Earth.
Yes, okay,
What?
good. We both said In the Earth.
We both
right?
just said it. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, In the Earth was a great movie. Much better. I had to compare it to Demonic because these were both films made during the pandemic where it was locked down and you couldn't really do shit. But it shows once again why Ben Wheatley is really good when he tries with his films, and now he's gonna be doing Meg Part 2.
I haven't seen him do anything bad so far.
He's gonna be doing a fucking giant shark movie. But Ben Wheatley, I think, surprisingly, a lot of people don't get his work, and I don't know why that is. I can understand because he lingers a lot on things. But I think this movie was fucking fantastic. I have a friend who just does not.
I don't know. He has got a feeling to him. It's like a very like low budget feeling.
Yeah, and I can't. Yeah, you can't really like say. I know a movie that I thought that I liked that was really low budget that you didn't care for, which is Blood Conscience. You know about the family members.
Oh,
and,
I really didn't like that. It was stupid to me.
A movie that you did like and I thought was horrible was Bloodthirsty. The movie, but the recording artist who was a werewolf or some shit like that.
I didn't think that was good. I just thought it wasn't as bad as you thought.
A movie I really fucking dug just because I'm a snob and aesthetics wise it fit my fucking wheelhouse was Nadia, the 1994 like black and white vampire
Oh god,
movie.
I hated that one. That was like that weird sort of David Lynch one.
Oh god, did I love that movie. It's so like it's
and
like
then they're
watching
making it all like pixelated, and it's like, what the fuck are they doing?
It was like a whole art piece. The one movie that I thought that I was gonna be so like genius in picking because I thought like it spoke a lot about female like exploitation of women, which was Tag, and Thea and Danny could give two shits about it. And you could hear it in the episode and me struggling.
Tag. Oh, was that the video game one?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, spoiler.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so, right? The Eighth Night was a movie that you did not see. Oh no, we did see. No. Did I see that? No, I saw that myself. Eighth Night was this Korean exorcism movie that sucked. I called it The Wailing for Stupid
We just
People.
saw a cool exorcism movie though, like very recently.
The Medium.
The Medium.
Yes, on Shudder.
The Medium.
That's a really good movie.
That was pretty good.
Kind of has a typical ending, but I thought for all it is, it's like it was really well done. Like it really looked good. Hunter x Hunter, which was a really solid little thriller horror
I felt
movie.
like it was a little overrated. But
yeah,
it was okay.
I hear what you're saying, but the ending was pretty gory and good, like for what it was. It went to a place that I didn't think it was going to go, and I was appreciative of it. And it was nice to see Devon Sawa again to be in it. Kandisha was a movie that you did not see. It's on Shudder. It's essentially like a female Candyman movie, but it takes place in France, like in the early 90s, or sort of in the 90s, I think. And these girls, and the woman is like a Middle Eastern demon, and so she's just only killing guys, and it's like very much like Candyman. They fucking say the girl's name in the mirror, so it's like Candyman, but it has that cool French aesthetic to it and gore. So I would actually legit say go watch Kandisha. It's fun. It's a fun little splatter movie.
What are we looking forward to for the next year?
You know, I don't even know. Do you have anything in mind? Also,
I'm looking at a list right here. There's another Scream coming out.
A Scream 5. I don't really give a rat's ass. I heard Scream 4 is good, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, I don't really care either.
After part 3, I was like done with it.
There's this Morbius one, which is like, I guess
I don't give a rat's ass. It's a vampire movie with Spider-Man, and they already fucked it because Spider-Man.
But it's not part of the MCU. It's the.
But they did fuck up because Sony likes to dip its fingers in places where it shouldn't. And Sony, in the movie, Morbius, who's played by Jared Leto, who is either very good or very bad in his movies, he's walking around in the trailer. He walks past by a poster of Spider-Man, and it says "Murderer" on it, which is obviously a note to Far From Home. You know, when Mysterio is killed, and but that shouldn't be because
there's a multiverse.
Like
so
they fixed whatchamacallit, Venom, right? So they deal with Venom in the MCU in a different way.
They gotta undo all of Sony's. There's a movie by Jordan Peele called Nope that's coming out.
Yeah, it's a UFO movie. It's an alien movie apparently, which looks. I look forward to it.
This guy hasn't let me down yet, really. So I'll see it.
But just to go back a little bit, fourth worst for me is Censor. About this, you wanted to review it, but it was about this woman who has like mental illness problems, like a giallo about the video nasties in the 80s. They fucking sucked balls. I also saw Uncle Sam, which I enjoyed. Uncle Sam, especially.
Oh,
with
that one's
the
terrible.
guy on the stilts looking at naked women in the mirrors.
Yeah, I mean, I rewound and laughed at that scene so many times when I was younger.
A movie that could have been great, but it has a fantastic beginning, but it has a kind of weird slapdash ending. But I still tell people to watch it. Is The Empty Man from 2020. I can't even explain what the movie's about, but it's just the first 2 hours of it is fantastic. In the last 15 minutes, you're like, oh boy. I like Knife and Heart.
So,
the gay.
There's a fucking Halloween Ends is coming out next year, and let's hope it does.
No, it won't. It's gonna make money, and it's gonna make more money, and people still make it. But what was it? Oh man, there's a lot about. Spiral came out this year, which was the Saw movie. Fucking sucked.
Okay.
That's my 5th worst movie of the year. Really bad movie. That shit sucked. We saw Thelma.
I mean, are you surprised that it's
No. They bring back the director of Saw 2 and 3. I'm like, what am I surprised about? I saw Forest of Love, which is Sion Sono. I went on a Sion Sono kick. He's a great director, Japanese guy. You can find it on Netflix. Forest of Love is a fantastic fucking series. You can either see it as a movie or as an extended series. I saw that.
And then we have isn't there like a new Ari Aster movie coming out?
Yes, it's with Joaquin Phoenix, and I can't think of the name of it.
Disappointment Boulevard.
Yeah, and it's like a comedy. It's like a weird dark comedy film. So it's not
So
horror.
it's not going to be a horror.
No, it's
movie,
a longer version of his short film that he made. So you can watch that. Well, we enjoyed Thesis, right? You know, the movie about the snuff films.
Yeah,
that was a good.
Yeah, I like that.
That was a good Spanish movie. It felt dirty. It wasn't a graphic horror movie, but it felt dirty when you watched it. I really enjoyed A Record of Sweet Murder. I really enjoyed that a lot. That was the movie.
Which one was? I recognize the name of
the
that.
found footage movie about the guy who said that he had to kill people.
The one. Yeah.
Well, that's a giant spoiler, but it was a great movie.
Oh shit! Sorry, maybe bleep that out.
Disappointments. We did a lot this year. I did 30 episodes by myself. Basically.
There's going to be a Hocus Pocus 2 coming out next year.
Yeah, they decided not to use the original screenwriter, and they're making a sequel to it. It's already been filmed, I believe. It's going to be finishing up shooting. We saw Psycho.
Is there anything like really big coming out?
We saw Psycho Gorman this year.
No, yeah, but that's a 2020 movie.
No, it's 2021 movie.
It says both when you type in.
I think it was.
Released.
It came out in 2021, but it was made in.
Okay, well, anyway, then that's the winner of the year.
Yeah, that is pretty. That is pretty an excellent movie. Clarice, which was Silence of the Lambs.
You said it was horrible, right?
The worst show. One of the worst shows I've ever seen. I'm glad they got rid of it. It's garbage. It's not coming back. I don't care about it. We saw Saint Maud, was 2019, which is not that good.
That was alright.
Mutant Action from 1993 was a fun movie.
That was wonderful.
Leaf Yonkers Darkness, the really low budget vampire movie, I enjoyed, but I don't know if anybody else enjoys it, but I thought it was fucking great. I think that's...
Did I like it? I don't even remember.
I don't know. I think that covers everything that we saw.
Oh shit, they're redoing Salem's Lot.
Yes, they are. And Christine is being... a new Christine movie is being directed by Brian Fuller.
Why?
Well, it's Brian Fuller who did the Hannibal series, so it might be a lot...
Yeah, but Christine is already like a perfect movie.
Yeah. So that's coming out. Let me see. Was there anything else that we thought were good? What were you looking forward to? What was your biggest disappointment this year? VHS 94 was
the year itself.
Well, yeah. I mean, that goes without fucking saying. I think that I'm looking forward to. I'm not I enjoy that people enjoying Marvel films. I'm looking towards Thor: Love and Thunder.
I love all of them. I'm like
because it's Taika Waititi.
Big dork with it.
They're all sort of the same movie to me, a lot of them, but I think that they did something different with Thor the last time, and they did something different, a little different with Shang-Chi because it had some good action in it, but they're all the same fucking movie. And
you know what I'm really looking forward to actually? The Northman.
You think? I saw the trailer for it, and it looked like fucking. It just looks like Conan movie to me. Like there's nothing special.
Yeah, but you know this dude's gonna do it really well. Bjork's in it, like it's gonna be good.
She sings in it. You think? I was kind of let down by The Night House. I thought it was a really beautiful looking movie, but it was nothing special about it. You're not looking towards the Jurassic Park movie, right?
I don't care. There's going to be a new Terrifier movie also.
And it looks just as cheap as the last one. The Terrifier thing, I'll say, is that they have fantastic gore effects. The clown is great, but the
I don't know.
sucked.
I kind of like see the appeal of the villain art. I kind of
No, I like the clown. It's everything else that he's in. No, everything else that's around him stinks. So I don't know. I think pretty much. Let's take this 1 second out to acknowledge our buddy Thea. Let's give her segment. So Thea, we're bringing you in for Adios 2021 because it's been such a fantastic year. Making fun of my speech impediment.
Oh,
so Thea, 2021. It's been such a magical year for everyone in the whole world, especially in Canada.
Just beautiful.
Those, fantastic.
Yeah. It's been doing great.
Fantastic prime ministers over there who's able to be transracial and everything.
Yeah.
So Thea, what stood out for you this year? What were your favorites? What were you just like so this year? Okay. Movies, television? Oh no, more photos keep coming up, so it's always
really.
Movies. So what are your?
You can't kick it.
What are you?
How many times did he do it?
Too many.
Too many times.
I mean, I thought it was once or twice.
So Thea, what are your favorites and unfavorites of the year 2021? What TV shows, movies, even albums? What did you like this year? What didn't work for you?
Favorites, I would say. I mean, everybody loves Squid Game. That's definitely in there.
Yes, fantastic. Except for Danny. Danny hasn't watched
it.
I
haven't seen it yet.
It's racist. Okay.
I would say Yellow Jackets, which I'm not done yet because I don't think it's all out yet. But it's.
I hear good things. The trailer for it looks incredible. It looks like
cool.
a female Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
That I think that's going to catch up to these women.
Yeah, that plays the past and the present, and you sort of don't know what happened, which is very cool to
Danny,
watch.
if you don't, and it's a Showtime series, right?
Yeah. I think.
So, Danny, if you don't know what Yellow Jackets is about these women, I think they had
I was recommended to watch it.
It's very good.
Yeah, so it's about these young girls. They get on a plane crash and they ended up being... Well, they
had to, eat each other or something?
Yeah, well, they get stranded...
In the cannibalism sense of the word.
They get stranded in the middle of nowhere. They're like a soccer team on their way to nationals or something.
And it's Christina Ricci, right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And Juliette Lewis and Melanie Linsky... And a bunch of other people.
Melanie Linsky is a great actor.
She's
very underrated
good.
actor. If you see Don't Look Up, go watch Don't Look Up. It's a very good movie.
She's great in everything she's in.
So apparently something weird happened when they were in this island, right?
Yeah, basically. So I've only watched 3 episodes now, I think, but I'm obsessed. And basically, you
really
just
good.
see flashes of what happened so far in the past, which is basically it looks almost like cultish.
So is this like a weirdo version of Lost or something like that?
A little, I would say a little bit Lost, a little bit Lord of the Flies, a little bit just in like a drama, like back and forth, past, present kind of thing, which is
it was renewed for a second season, so that's good then.
Very good.
So what else we got on the plate?
I would say the Fear Street trilogy. That was a really nice, beautiful
Danny
thing
still
to
hasn't
watch
watched those either.
Yeah, I've been
really
very bad
good
at watching things.
Those are, I think, my top horror of this year.
Yeah.
I believe Fear Street Trilogy, because I don't think anything has come close to it.
It was so fun.
It was fun. It was appropriate for the year. I mean, it was like overkill with music in the first episode, but I think it was fucking great.
Have you seen Dune, Thea?
I haven't seen Dune yet. There's a long list of movies that I don't watch that many movies, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten to a bunch of them yet, but Dune is definitely on the list, and I think that'll probably be one of my faves for sure.
I watched Dune to palate cleanse The Matrix.
Got it. That's a good one.
But Dune's good. Anyway, what else we got on the?
I would say the new season of Ted Lasso never disappoints. It was a very.
I gotta watch that show too. I've got to watch that show. It's apparently half an hour long every episode.
It's like a big hug. Every episode.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear it's like just a good show, and I gotta watch that.
What is it called?
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Okay.
The first season is basically like a feel good American football coach comes to the UK to teach or to run a soccer team in the UK and knows nothing about the sport.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would be like, what? But
which
then like people just talk so really good about it. They just say it's so great.
It's a comedy?
Yeah.
I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's Jason Sudeikis.
Yep.
I know that.
You know, the guy who got fucked over by Harry Styles. And but I think the show looks great. Great. I hear it's amazing, so I want to check it out. Okay, what else we got there?
Also good would be Hacks, which is another half-hour comedy, which is...
Yeah, it's another show that I hear is really good, about writers, right?
It's Jean Smart playing like a 60-year-old comedian who's sort of like a little bit washed up. She has like a Vegas standard show.
There's a dog barking.
And then it's a sort of down on her luck 20-year-old writer who is not getting jobs, and she gets a job working for this woman writing her jokes. And they hate each other.
That show's so good it reaches beyond species because the dog is like...
The dog is seconding my opinion.
The dog loves it.
All right, what else we got?
I would say Sort of, which is a Canadian show.
Okay.
It's about a gender non-binary person who is sort of navigating a not sure what to do with my life stage, where they are nannying for a family whose mother gets in a really bad accident, and then they sort of fill in as like a provider for their family. And it's an incredible cast of characters, an incredible creative force. It's another, like, it's a queer story without being like the obvious queer story of like, oh, I'm not accepted and like life is shitty and I'm gonna kill myself. Like, it's not that stuff. It's more like, oh, just navigating everyday life, but as a non-binary person, which is very cool.
It's good always to see television shows that have characters that you actually want to see continuing going on, because like rarely do you see it unless they're like trapped in a genre show.
Yeah, and it's just like likable people. Like, it's a lovable cast of characters. It's really fun.
What's it called?
Are there any
terrible
things you have seen?
Are there any
terrible things?
Terrible things, yeah. Well, I mean, there were things that I was excited about that disappointed me, like Halloween Kills.
Oh boy,
you were excited about that.
I always liked Jamie Lee Curtis. I was hopeful that we could do something interesting.
You didn't like the 10 minutes that she was in the movie?
Yeah, I didn't love that.
In a hospital gown the whole time?
Did you see the deleted scene, the deleted ending for the movie?
No.
What happened?
Did you? Yeah, you saw Halloween. Oh, you all saw Halloween.
Yeah,
this is a spoiler for Halloween Kills.
So
I'm just saying for people that haven't seen the movie. Well, who cares? The movie sucks. So the daughter obviously gets killed at the end, and the deleted scene is the dead daughter on the floor, right? And then Jamie Lee Curtis gets out of her because she was calling the daughter, and then Jamie Lee Curtis gets out of her bed and then picks up a fucking knife. You know, the knife that they brought in. To the hospital room for some reason, which should be in a fucking police station.
Yeah, like
she picks it up and then she begins triumphantly walking through the hospital to go hunt Jason down, even though the new Halloween movie is going to be 4 years after.
In surgery, she has stitches all in her.
She has magic powers. The ghost of whatever that guy is.
Is it actually going to be 4 years later? I can't.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a time jump. I'm telling you, the only good thing about that movie was the Donald Pleasance actor, which I thought was CGI, but it was actually an actor playing him with prosthetics.
Really?
Which blew my mind. Yeah, I know.
Really good.
I was like, what? It was great. Right. They should have just made a fucking movie about that. Anyway, what else stinks?
I would say Army of the Dead, also a disappointment.
Thank you.
It was.
Thank you.
There were fun things about it.
I've heard of it, but I've never.
You know,
this was a year where Zach's.
Yeah. It was Zack Snyder doing a zombie movie again, where there was some,
and fucking it up because he did his own DP work, so he fucked it up. So this has been a weird because it was supposed to be a year that redeemed Zack Snyder, and it did redeem him with Army of the Dead because it was a #1 hit for him, but not for people like me and Thea, because Justice League, his movie was actually, I enjoyed it. Like his cut of the movie, I enjoyed it, but then you can see he shot new scenes, and I was watching it going, well, it was like Batman in a Nightmare Future with Joker, and I'm like, why does this look so shitty? Like, it's all handheld and crappy.
Batman movie.
I know, but let me finish this. So you see this crappy handheld, like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's horrible looking. And then Army of the Dead, the whole movie is crappy handheld, like really shitty handheld, like camera crap. It's really badly filmed. It's a boring movie. It's shit you've seen all the time. Them trying to steal the money is not even entertaining.
It's badly written. It doesn't make any sense. Like
the only character surprising that I was surprised. The only character that I was surprised that I liked was Tig Notaro.
Yeah, who was the last
Tig Notaro wasn't even in the. Tig Notaro wasn't even in the fucking movie because they got rid of Chris, whoever the actor was.
That's the only thing that I'll give them, which is that when Chris D'Elia was accused of sexual misconduct and all those things happened, he fully edited him out of the film and reshot all of his scenes with a queer actor, and like that is cool. That was I'm happy that they did that. Tig was really good, even though there was the odd moment where it felt disconnected, but I didn't really know that until after I'd watched.
All I say is that I like that character because it was a character who was kind of fed up and was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. And then, of course, that fucking character dies. That character should have survived everybody.
And then been the star of the next movie. That's what I think.
And my only misgiving with Tig Notaro, because it's sort of like that, like, I don't like any comedians nowadays. Like, honestly. Fair. All my comedians that I like are fucking dead, which sucks. But, like, I don't subscribe to that kind of, like, humor. Like, I try to watch a Louis C.K. Like, I don't know what the fuck Louis C.K. did. I'm sure he did something weird. and
Did
he's
he
in
like
trouble
pull
for
his
it.
dick
But
out and masturbate?
yeah, I think he asked.
multiple people. Yeah.
I think the problem is like he asked women if he could do it, but I think just asking somebody in general is the fucking problem.
It's hard when there's a power imbalance and and you're taking advantage
right,
of
that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, just that question in general is just like, hey, can I jerk off in front of you? Like, that's a weird fucking question.
Yeah,
like,
especially when you're already in a hotel room and you're in front of the door.
Yeah, so whatever. But like, I tried to watch some of his stand up, and this is not me judging him whatever the fuck he did, because whatever that sounds kind of creepy anyway.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not funny. Like, I don't
Was
get
he
it.
jerking
Like,
off during the stand up? Because that might have.
now that'd be funny. But I don't understand. Like, I just don't get any of this new humor. I understand if you're going out to like offend people, that's fine or whatever. But if it's gotta be fucking funny, like I love offending people, but Jesus Christ. But Tig Notaro pulled off the movie at least. What else sucked?
What's your favorite variant of COVID?
Delta, the short-lived and little-loved Delta. You know.
Okay.
What
cool.
what else? What else really sucked for you this year? Besides, outside the door.
I am not going to say this sucked. It was just disappointing for me as a fan of Mike Flanagan. I did not love Midnight Mass.
Ooh. Really? Okay. Everybody else I'm here is great, and I haven't watched it because I haven't finished his other magnum opus, the not Bly Mansion, the other one. Yeah, like I just haven't finished it. And I don't know why.
Right.
But
I would say finish Haunting of Hill House. If that's the one you haven't finished.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one. Because Quentin Tarantino says that he loves Mike Flanagan's films, but he says that Mike Flanagan doesn't know how to pull off an ending. And I'm sure Mike Flanagan... I like Mike Flanagan as a person, but I'm still sort of lukewarm.
My brain is
I'll watch
just
his stuff.
blanking who the fuck
On
Mike
who this
Flanagan
is. So he directed and created Haunting of Hill House, the series. He directed and created the movie Hush, the movie Doctor Sleep. He does a lot of Stephen King adaptations. He did. Oh God, what's the one with
Gerald's Game?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
cool. Okay, that was a good one too.
Yeah, so I like a lot of his work
like,
in general. But
Midnight Mass didn't work for you. But I think it's because they're giving it a second season. So
yeah, great.
I mean, we'll see. And now now he's working on the House of Usher, which is an adaptation.
Is that about Usher the singer?
Yeah, he says, "My name is USHER."
I imagine it's about his discovery of what the fuck is that little white singer guy that's from Canada? Oh.
There's a lot of little white.
Justin Bieber.
Like the pop star guy from Canada.
Oh, Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Because Usher discovered him.
Oof, I would have thought we'd
Why
never
do you know
mention
that?
his name on this podcast.
I don't know.
Okay, sure.
What else? We got
cool,
on the? What else do we got on the list there?
Of worst. I mean,
whatever you want to talk about. Yeah.
Why don't you talk about worst the food? Have you eaten it?
I haven't. No, so I can't speak on it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I watched the new gay Christmas movie, Single All the Way, recently. That was not great.
Oh boy. You know, there's a movie called. Well, I don't know why. It's finally my chance to bring this up on the show. There's a movie called. It's about a Jewish mother dealing with her son's sexuality, and it's called "Oy vey, my son is gay."
Wow. How did you even find that one?
Well, I troll the internet, but just look at it. I don't troll the internet. I go through the internet.
Great.
And the cover of is like a really famous like actress that you've seen everywhere, and she's just doing the typical raised shoulders with the hands in the air, and her poor son. It's my son is gay.
Jewish stereotype gesture.
Absolutely, with the same hairstyles and everything. So, anything else, Thea?
No, those were my actual worst. I didn't watch that many movies. So
what was your worst injury this year?
Worst injury.
Some bizarre.
I stubbed my pinky toe and the nail fell off.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, it was a bad one.
You know what I just did?
Did it come off immediately, or
no,
did it
not
take
immediately.
over
a week or two.
Ooh.
I had made Lipton soup, and it was stirred, and there was like a giant spoon to stir it, and then the spoon was let out in the sink, so the little the noodle was like, you know how it gets dry and it just becomes hard as a rock?
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to dig it out, and it lunged underneath my nail into the skin. And I was like, and my nail was short enough that I couldn't clip it out. You know what I mean? So I had to take a knife and actually move it out. And it was like blood coming out. It sucked.
Oh no!
I'm glad that it worked. Anyway,
imagine he gets gangrene because of this noodle.
Thea, do you? No, it's been a couple of days, so I think I'm okay. So Thea, what do you got to say about 2021? What are your thoughts on the year in general?
There wasn't.
I don't think it'll be surprising.
There wasn't a lot that blew me away, but again, like I haven't watched a few things that I need to, like Dune, like the sort of big blockbustery things.
Dune is amazing.
I guess did I even mention? Was WandaVision this year? I think that was also a thing that was.
Was it? Yeah,
that was this
weirdly-
year.
It's
And
been a
Loki.
long year, right?
It has been.
Wow.
Loki,
Yeah,
WandaVision.
Marvel's
Captain
done
America
really
one.
well. I think Hawkeye was actually pretty good too, and like
Don't
Well,
I don't
and-
know what they
spoil,
did.
please.
I don't know what
WandaVision
they
is
did
the
with
only
one of
one
the
I
big villains
watched
at the end, though.
because I'm
Oh,
not
really?
I'm not a big Marvel person in general. Like I sort
Okay,
of
fair
fell
enough,
off
yeah.
watching them along the way, and then just got exhausted and was like, I can't do it.
I think
man.
the shows have been better than the movies.
Yeah, well, and
Shang-Chi
that
was
show in
entertaining.
particular, I think it was a really enjoyable experience, even if you don't have context necessarily.
Yeah,
I think
it
if
is
you don't
fun.
watch
It's
anything
fun.
else, I think you'll like Loki because that's like a Doctor Who sort of weird science fiction thing.
Okay,
I love
I would try that.
Anyway, so want to thank Thea as always for being always so nice to us, and we find her a totally a part of the series, and
I
she
hate her.
is, the show does not
hate it.
exist without Thea. I think our episodes are the best when she's around, and she graces us with her time and presence.
Are you about to ask her for money?
Yes.
No, I'm not. We respect her for her intelligence and humor and for dealing with us, and I'm very grateful to have you on the show, just like Danny is as well. So thank you, Thea, and we
Thank
hope
you,
the
Thea.
best
I
for
love
you
you
in
guys so
2022. We know 2022 is going to be a better year for you and we hope everything works out for you. Congratulations on your relationship, your family.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Oh
Thea.
yeah, that's very
Thank
good.
you, and thank you for including me. I'm always so happy to be included. I've been a fan forever, and it's nice to be a part of it too.
Oh yeah, what's Danny's last name then? No, don't say it. All right, Thea, thank you.
What's my
Talk to you
social
later.
security?
It's 513.
You might actually be somebody's number. All right, Thea, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hey, that was fantastic. Thea's a genius. Did you like that? That was,
Whoa, that was the best.
A brilliant woman that deserves all the love in the world. She is so.
That was all in real time. Also, we didn't put
There's
that
not
in.
one edit. She really came in just for the second. Anything on Netflix that you thought was great or no?
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
I tried to watch the Cowboy Bebop live action. It's not horrible. It's not,
They canceled
Yeah, they got
it.
rid of it. So it's like, oh, should I finish the rest of it? But I'm like, I'm gonna finish it just in case. But you don't get to see Cyberpunk show, and that was a Cyberpunk show, and of course you never see it. I tried to watch the anime Demon Slayer that everybody loves. I didn't really give a rat's ass. Nothing special about that show either. Hellbound I'm trying to start, which is a horror series.
Anything that you heavily recommend?
All right, so it was already Squid Game and all that shit. Arcane, I started watching. You should take a look at that. It's an interesting looking show. It's an animated series. It's really
I
weird.
have like a list of like 8 million things, and Squid Game's on one of the top, so I have to watch.
I watched
that.
the first half of Masters of the Universe, and of course, a whole bunch of guys got pissed off because apparently it was like a woman as a lead and not He-Man. And I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Uh-oh.
And then, of course, the second part of it, where He-Man is the hero of it, like they planned that all because the animation takes like 2 years or a year to do. So obviously this was the plan and the whole point, and now you don't hear one fucking word about it. So somebody was, and of course a guy had to complain, one of these fucking losers, that was like, oh, you see how this girl smiled when she used her power? And I'm like, okay, what a weirdo. But High Rise Invasion sucked, but Netflix is always good. I saw Baki, which is an anime about a guy beating the shit out of people to death. It's a great show. I think that kind of sums up everything that we did this year. Am I hopeful for movies next year and entertainment? Sure. You know what else? I saw Don't Look Up. That's one of my favorites of the year, actually.
I've heard great things about it.
Great movie. For some reason, like the critics are really dogpiling on it because they're like, "Oh, this is too on the nose. It's too obvious." I mean, what the fuck else is this movie?
Is it too obvious? Look at her fucking world.
The movie.
Everything I've heard about it sounds very accurate.
The movie's about a fucking comet coming to destroy the Earth, and everybody's too busy doing social media to give a fuck. And then when the government is like, oh, look, it's not real, don't look up. That's the whole joke of the movie. And people are like, no, look up. You can see it right there. You can see it. So that's like, obviously, critics for some reason decided to dogpile it, but it's a fucking great movie, and it's #1 on Netflix, and there's a reason why. I watched it just because of Leonardo DiCaprio. And because I'm not really a fan of Jennifer Lawrence just as a person, but she did great in the movie, and Meryl Streep is great. Everybody's great in the movie, and I've never really seen any Adam McKay movies besides Anchorman and the other guys. But I understand now why he does serious movies. But this is a funny movie, and it's worth watching. We got Stranger Things is coming next year.
That I'm excited for.
That I'm sure is good. That last season of Stranger Things I think was the best, next to the first one, obviously.
This has to be the last season, right?
No, they're gonna make more money, so they're gonna put more. Ghostbusters, I haven't seen the movie. I saw the last.
I've heard only bad things,
last 10 seconds of it, or the last.
Don't tell me.
It is embarrassing because what they did with Ghostbusters, the new one, instead of making it like a comedy, like at least 2016 was trying to be a comedy. It wasn't funny. I didn't watch. I saw the first half an hour. I was like, that's it for me. And I could understand if you just put shitty jokes in it and then you sell your movie as in like, oh, girl power, and it's just like, just sell that as a movie. But at least that movie was trying to be funny. It was jokes. This one is nostalgia and crying and depressing shit because it's, Harold Ramis is no longer with us. And I'm like, no. Don't make a fucking movie where it's depressing Ghostbusters. Fucking ghosts! That's what I want to see. Stinks. It's dumb. Anyway, what else do we got?
Yeah.
That's it. I think that's it. I think... what rating would you give the year, as in horror and in general?
As in horror,
we'll give a rating for the year after this. But I mean, what rating would you give?
From what we watched, I would give this like a 7.5.
Yeah, I think
there's 7.5 out of 10. Reliving the 90s when you were sort of happy and COVID didn't exist.
Yes, I give it a solid 8. I thought we actually did see a couple of really good films. There were 5 really horrible movies this year that you heard, of course. But I thought there was some solid material. I think Disney Plus had some pretty entertaining. I guess we're those kind of stupid Marvel fans. I guess we are. But trust me, I don't just like sit and go, oh, I gotta watch everything. But they did some good stuff with their TV work. I think that we got some good horror out of it. And we got some interesting stuff out of it. And I'm looking forward towards next year. But I would give it 8 out of 10. Just don't watch Matrix or Halloween Kills. But I want to take this and say, if we come back next year, I want to say thanks to the people that do watch us, do listen to our show. It's not many people.
Thank you.
We for some reason have not sparked the internet ablaze, even though we've been doing this for 9 years. We still do it because we're mentally ill. But we want to thank you that you've been along on this journey with us. So, Danny, what rating would you like to give the year of, just in general, the year itself of 2021?
I give it a very lackluster 5 out of 10.
I would give it
because I'm bored and I hate everything.
I give it a 4 out of negative 10 million because I miss going out, I miss my friends, I miss working on films, and it stinks. And hopefully, there's hope that people are taking care of themselves, so next year's a little bit better.
There is no hope.
So, Danny, for the end of 2021. For the horror deconstruction, what is the final word?
Boom, boom, boom.